those are all the same. So I think that even though the coaching staff has changed, I think there is still this brand of loyalty, to the school that took a shot on them. A lot of these guys are
Absolutely.
3 stars, and they don't have. In some cases we have guys that are offered from these big schools, but a lot of times, these are maybe their one or handful of Pac-12 offers that they get. So I think that they have that sense of loyalty to the team that took a shot on them. And so I think that's a reason why they're not going to transfer. And another thing that I want to bring up, you kind of alluded to with the Ohio State. If I'm an SEC team and I want to pick up a guy on the transfer portal, I'm not going to look at WSU. I'm going to look at Ohio State. I'm going to look at Michigan. I'm going to look at those teams that have the 5 stars because I think they have guys that want to go play in the NFL and go
Well,
in the draft
why
in the
not
spring.
look at
So they
a
want a fall season.
nationally recognized kicker? Why
Yeah,
not look at a nationally recognized Blake Mazza, a top 3 finalist for kicker of the year last year? Why not
yeah,
look at Mazza?
because I don't really think that those places care about kicker that much. Sure, if Blake Mazza wants to leave, somebody's going to pick him up. But a lot of those teams go, well, whatever. We don't need a kicker. We need a guy to kick a 15-yard extra point while we're scoring 70 points if we're in the Big 12, or we're holding the team to 7 points if I'm in the SEC. So, if you look at their recruiting, they don't really care about kicker. So I don't think that that's a huge need for them. I don't think that LSU and Alabama have a need at kicker. I think they're going to be fine with they could pull somebody out of the stands. I think they would have a good shot.
Well, it goes beyond positions, though. I'm going to bring it back to the Pullman community. Now, you and I, as students here at WSU, we both received that email last week about the slight increase in cases in the Pullman area, especially with
Hmm.
with the student population coming in.
Yeah.
Okay, students are starting to move back in. Whether they're practicing social distancing or not, or wearing masks, it's obviously up to them. But there's been a slight increase in cases, and when there's a slight increase in cases in the Pullman area, look, it's already a boring town to be in, and there's already very little to do. I mean, we're traveling to Idaho to get entertained. Like, if that doesn't prove what Pullman is like as a community, I don't know what does. But with these football players, you and I both know that after their practices and their films and their games and after serving as an athlete in a Power 5 school, what are they going to want to do? They're going to want to go out. They're going to want to socialize. They're going to want to get together with their friends that either they saw at practice that same day or get together with the friends coming back into town. Athletes, all of the athletes come into Pullman, and I'll use all loosely, but athletes come into Pullman with that sense of community. But let's face it, they're young adults just like we are. They're going to get bored. They're going to want to transfer to a bigger time school if that means that they get to play this season. They're not going to a film session right now for a game that they didn't play. They're not going to the games, obviously, and their practices obviously have to be a little less intense than usual. So, yeah, they're going to get bored in this area, and for that reason alone, I wouldn't be surprised if more players enter the portal.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. And I'd like to ask you a question about that. If a player transfers to Florida State, and they do what you said, and they go through their film, and then they want to go out and hang out with their friends. Well, their friends are still in Pullman. They're the people they've played with for 3 years. They're still in Pullman. So if you're talking about wanting to hang out with that community, they're not going to take the whole community with them. The WSU football team isn't
No,
going with them. So if that community is a reason to leave, I think the community is maybe even a bigger reason to stay. They're not going to know the players. They
okay,
may
Cody,
have high
where's
school
Florida
friends.
State? Where's the university at?
Is
Do,
this?
do you
I didn't
know
know. I didn't
offhand?
know we were doing a geography quiz. But if I had to
No,
guess,
we are
I
going to
I
do a
would
geography quiz because
I would place my
if we
money
talk about
on. I believe it's is it Tallahassee?
Tallahassee, okay, okay.
Were
Well,
you asking me
I'm
because you
not.
didn't know?
Well, I also didn't know, but I'm going to bring up this point. You brought up Florida State, a big time D1 program. I'll give you that. They might not have their friends to be around in Florida State. But let's talk about UCF. Where's UCF, Cody?
I
It's in
believe that would
Orlando.
be in Orlando.
It's in Orlando. What's in
Mm-hmm.
Orlando? No, what's in Orlando?
Coronavirus.
It's
Coronavirus.
everywhere, Cody. What's in
Are you
Orlando?
talking about Disney World?
Oh, I'm talking about Disney World, Cody,
Mm-hmm.
and it's open. I have a friend who works in Disney World in Orlando. She goes to UCF, and she's having the time of her life. Okay, you don't need a friend
I,
to go to
I would
Disney World, Cody. It's a good time.
I would beg to say that if Disney World really mattered to these players, they would not be in Pullman right now. I think they would be in Disney World.
Well, yeah, you know, they may have Disney World over there and we don't have it here, but they have a season over there and we don't have it over here. So I think it just goes down to that, Cody.
Yeah, I think that's right, and I would like to